Hello, everyone, students. Thank you all for attending this course on Deep Artificial Intelligence. Now let's start the class. I am Hongyi, and before we start the class, let's first talk about why I wanted to open this course on Deep Artificial Intelligence. I began teaching at National Taiwan University in 2014. Then in 2015, I taught courses related to machine learning every year. Last year's spring class. After the machine learning course ended, a student came to ask me a question. How to classify an article automatically by machines. This is a machine learning course. So I answered him from the perspective of machine learning. This is a very standard classification problem. You need to prepare some labeled data first. Then you can train your own model. A voice suddenly came to my mind. I suddenly gained an epiphany. Do you really want to learn the principles of machine learning? Or do you just want to know how to do article classification? Why do you want to do article classification? He said this is the service I need for my startup. Then I asked if you're still wasting time learning machine learning. Forget what I just said. Just call check directly. So what exactly does this sentence mean? When I said just use check directly, what exactly does it mean? Maybe I'll operate directly. Everyone can imagine more. This is the page of checked. What I use here is GPT 3.5. GPT 3.5 is free. GPT 4 needs to be paid. So the functions I will demonstrate later are the functions of the free version. These are functions that everyone can easily obtain functions. Many who see this checked page for the first time often feel at a loss. There is only one dialog box on this page. In this dialog box, you can input any text. But such an artificial intelligence, what kind of role does it truly have? Will I be so bored that I need to talk to change it every day? Am I lonely enough to chat constantly with artificial intelligence? So many people feel that this is just a chat robot. What role can it have? Change It can be your good assistant. You just tell it. We want to categorize news today. Then you directly paste your instructions to it. The news is categorized into the following categories. News is divided into politics, society, finance, life, film, entertainment, sports, etc. Then what comes next? Tell him I will give you a piece of news. Please tell me which category this news belongs to. Just give you the category. Next, just paste a piece of news content for him. For example, randomly find a news here. The Lantern Festival meets the smallest full moon. Randomly paste a piece of news for him. He will tell you this news. Or let's try another example. This one is news related to AI. Then we directly paste this piece of news here. GPT knows this is film and entertainment. So you can easily use ChangeIt to create your desired AI application. But someone might think, this is a demo web page. How do I migrate this feature into my app? Migrate into my service. Then this assignment 3 will tell you how to call artificial intelligence like Generative to help you do things in your own city. In short, my idea is, the adult era has changed. In the past, when making applications related to artificial intelligence, developing artificial intelligence models by oneself, training machine learning models by oneself, it's like dueling. Today someone can directly pull out a gun, instantly complete the application of artificial intelligence. So perhaps as a basic course of artificial intelligence, I want to start a new class. Tell everyone today's world If you want to do artificial intelligence applications, what it might look like. Of course, having the ability to develop models is still very important. So it's not that machine learning is unimportant. Nor does it mean I won't teach machine learning in the future. I just want to tell everyone that understanding today's generative AI trends, understanding today's generative AI technologies, developed to what extent, can help you judge more accurately when you should develop models yourself, when you can use a ready-made artificial guide. Good, then before we start the course, I will talk about the positioning of this course. Because this course starts out and tells you about Generative, it may give you a misunderstanding. I see many students online say, this is a course to teach everyone how to use Generative. Actually, this is not a course to teach everyone how to use Generative. Generative is just one example of many deep AI. Of course, it is the most representative application today. So in class, we will repeatedly mention Generative, this AI. But it is just an example of deep AI. And this course is to hope to bring you the overall picture of deep AI. Actually, Generative is very easy to use. How should I learn to use Generative? Using Generative does not require learning. As long as you can communicate with another person, you probably have a way to communicate with Generative. So learning to use Generative actually does not need to spend a whole semester to learn how to use Generative. The learning resources for Generative are really plentiful. You just need to search for Generative on YouTube. Many influencers are teaching you. At the beginning of last year when Generative just became popular, every influencer was talking about Generative. History channels would make Generative disguise itself as a historical figure to converse with them. A channel playing Yu-Gi-Oh would also force Generative. Then forces Generative to play games with him. In short, too many people have provided teaching resources for Generative. So this course is not about teaching you how to use this artificial intelligence application, Generative. So what is this course about? The target audience I preset for this course is assuming you have used generative AI like Generative. You know what they can do. You know how powerful they are. But you want to understand more. The principles behind these deep AI. How they actually came about. How they were trained. How they became so powerful like today. This artificial intelligence. Future what kind of possibilities. Also what possible developments. This course is just for you. Then why this course? Won't particularly focus on one application. For example, the use of Generative. Because today this technology really is changing rapidly. And if you at this 2022 end of the year, Generative just launched when you used it, you will find Generative now its interface. Interface already has a big difference. Its ability also has a lot of differences. So this application is changing rapidly. Even if you learned how to use Generative, perhaps similar skills, after a few months or even weeks, have already become unsuitable. But we hope to teach you, in a university course, perhaps something that can be used in the following years, or even a lifetime. So what this course really wants to convey is not to teach you how to use Generative, but tell you concepts of generative AI. As for this course, I do not have any prerequisites set. That is to say, if you want to take this course, you do not need to have taken any courses related to artificial intelligence. You also do not need to take any machine learning related courses. This course can be your first artificial intelligence related course. Then some people may ask that I already know how to use chat. Using chat is that simple. You know how to communicate with another person. You can use Generative. Just knowing how to use it enough. Why do I need to know what the principles behind it are? Indeed, even if you do not know the principles of Generative, you also have the chance to create artificial intelligence applications. But understanding its principles can take you to another level. For example, magic is very wonderful. Today's artificial intelligence is also like magic. But if you know the techniques behind the magic, then you are watching magic. You can better appreciate the magician's skills. You see the magician split a person in half. You wouldn't think he really split a person in half. And then glued it back together with immense power. You would know it's a trick. You wouldn't think the magician has superpowers. Or is a psychic. You know this is a magic trick. The same goes for deep AI. Today deep AI shows very amazing abilities. But if you can correctly understand the concepts and principles behind it, it's like understanding the tricks behind magic. You can understand it more precisely. At least you will not have a wrong misunderstanding or wrong expectations. This course and machine learning. I might teach this machine learning course. Is there any overlap? Should ask what is the same. Basically there is no same. So even if you take my machine learning, or take another teacher's machine learning, I believe this course can help you a lot. I just said this course can be your first artificial intelligence class. You can take this course as your foundation in learning artificial intelligence. And then learn other machine learning related courses. Now to state again what you will not learn in this course. Because this is an introductory course. So if we continue to use magic as a metaphor, this course will guide you to perform several tricks. But it may not be enough to train you to be a magician. Nor can it help you create new magic. But this does not mean this course is useless. Assuming your goal in the future is to become a top magician, to do some big transformation tricks, this course can serve as your start to become a magician. The class has limited time. And this course is set as a 2-credit class. So we only have 2 hours of class time. Therefore we cannot go deep into all the techniques. I have stripped everything just to show me this. So many areas may not be explained in depth. But this is your first course on artificial intelligence. It will not be your last course in artificial intelligence. In the future, you can take out related courses. Or suppose you want to dig deeper into some technologies mentioned in class. You can look at the papers cited on the slides. Speaking of citations, in our course, most of the papers on our slides are cited from a website called Archive. So when you see the links to the papers cited in class, it will say archive.org. What is Archive? If it is students in this computer science field. I know the students in this course from various different fields. So I introduce what is Archive. I know that generally when we do this research, you know that when you have a new idea in your research, you will write your idea into a paper, publish in international conferences and international journals. But this international conference. So international journal papers often take 1.5 years for the first review. For the field of AI, the technological changes are really too fast. 1.5 years often brings earth-shaking changes. Often you submit an article. After 6 months accepted by the international conference. That technology is already outdated. There is a website called Archive. Today often you have new ideas. Especially related to computer science artificial intelligence new papers. Often do not first submit to international conferences. Directly put on Archive first. Open to the public in advance. Easier to find the latest research. Then here teach everyone how to look at the time of article upload on Archive. Then the articles on Archive. Later will have a number. The first 2 of this number represent the year. The last 2 numbers represent the month. So 2205 means this article was made public in May 2022. To be placed in the archive. After that, you will see many articles. In the open slide of course. These articles are often placed in the archive. A few months ago. Or even a few weeks ago. Speaking of this rapid change in technology, I want to share something. In this course, Our assignments will teach everyone to train a 70 billion 7B linked. That abbreviation is 7B, so many parameters model. However, we have not yet talked about the difference between training and fine-tuning. We have not yet talked about the concept of parameters. We will talk about concept parameters in next class. But now you think that the more parameters, it represents that this model is more powerful. Although in fact, the factor that affects the model's capability is not just the quantity of parameters. But today everyone often uses a number of parameters. So a model with 7 billion parameters. 7 billion sounds like a very big number. Almost as many as the Earth's population. Is a model with 7 billion parameters a very large model? It is obviously not a particularly large or powerful model. Cut is an assignment for class. You can imagine after finishing this class, thousands of people can train a model with 7 billion parameters. And today you can use free computing resources to train a model with 7 billion parameters. So it is obviously not a particularly powerful model. But if you travel back 5 years, back to 2019. What happened in 2019? In 2019, OpenAI released the second generation of GPT. At that time, various articles online were also frantically promoting. For example, the strongest NLP model in history GPT 2.0. Or the extraordinary language model GPT 2.0. The biggest model GPT 2.0. But how big is this GPT-2? It only has 1.5 billion parameters. It is probably a quarter to a fifth of the model you will use for today's homework. So today assume you travel back 5 years with our homework. You have in hand a massive model that can destroy the world. OpenAI and Google would have to kneel before you. This was the largest model at that time that no one could imagine. This makes me think of something. I think of the Welfare League of Praise. This is the third episode of the Welfare League animation. This Welfare League has been airing for a long time. So talking about the Welfare League shouldn't be a spoiler. But if you are afraid of spoilers, let me tell a story from this funeral Welfare League. This Welfare League, it participated in a hero squad 80 years ago. There is a very powerful cadre under the Demon King, called Fuxin Kuo. Fuxin Kuo is very powerful. He invented killing magic that can penetrate any defense. So no one can block his attack. All the warriors were killed by him. Even Furin couldn't defeat him. He could only seal him temporarily. After 80 years, his seal loosened. Kuo was resurrected. Furin came with his disciple Fei Luan, wanting to eliminate Kuo. At the beginning, Fei Luan was very nervous. Wants to say Koval his killing magic. How can we defeat Koval? Furian said you'll know when the time comes. Then Koval cast a killing magic on Farron. Furian told Farron, just unfold the land. It's just a normal attack. 80 years ago's killing magic was just a normal attack. Because 80 years for humans is really too long. Humans have studied Koval's magic, have found defensive methods. And it's the same in deep learning AI. Back then GPT-2 was like Koval. A huge model that destroyed the world back then. Is nothing in your eyes today. The technology of deep AI is changing very fast. Don't say 5 years. Sometimes 5 months or 5 weeks can see big changes. Here talking about the assignment. Just to tell you about the planning of this assignment. The goal of the assignment is to let everyone experience deep AI. This experience is divided into 2 aspects. The first aspect of the experience is to experience how we use deep AI to create certain applications. The other aspect is to teach everyone how to use, how to train their own deep AI model. Of course, the programs and data are already written. What you need to do is often just keep pressing. But you can experience how to train a generative AI model of your own. In this course, I retained some negative experiences. What kind of negative experiences? For example, training the model takes time. Of course, this so-called takes time. In assignments, it might just be 2 or 3 hours long. You know this pain is more evident. You may think 2 or 3 hours of training is time-consuming. In fact, if you want to train a real large model, often, the time is calculated in weeks. Then what other negative experiences might you have? Even if you follow the assistant's instructions and press enter, the results you get may not be the same as the assistant's results. Many students training models for the first time will feel very amazed. They want to say training models is just writing a program. Why does it still get different results every time? I tell you this training model. You should not think of it as a city. You should think of it as raising small animals. It's like planting flowers and grass. Its results are often unpredictable. Of course, we can remove these negative experiences. Just don't let you train models. But I still keep several training model. This work saved in the homework. To let you have some negative experiences. Like a vaccine. To help you face greater challenges in the future. I know to say present all. Not every person future will become engineer. Not every person will train model. But perhaps through this class experience, you can know say train model is possible very take time. Is possible very hard predict. One day you become big boss. Perhaps you can to your under fat engineer more some tolerance. This is assignment content planning. This class totally have 10 assignments. I all already write in after film. If no special explain preset. Its deadline just is in 2 weeks later. Then these assignments have several need write program. Even to train the model. Then to train the model. What do I need to prepare? Do I need to buy my own GPU? Then executing the program training model part. We will all use collab. Or cargo. Then you don't know what collab or cargo is. You don't need to prepare anything. Then here. I slightly estimated the difficulty of the assignment. If drawing a triangle. The assignment 2 is suspectly. Say, just give it points to. This dot just gives everyone 20 points. But what about the later assignments? There will gradually be some difficulty. Assuming you don't care about the score. This assignment might also be completed very quickly. But assuming you want to get full marks, you still need to spend some time. Those 3 triangles represent that. This assignment requires training a model. So you need at least several hours to complete. Several hours is already considered very fast. When I just started this machine learning course, its training time was about 3 days. I told my classmates that this assignment requires training for 3 days. So today, assuming there are less than 3 days until the deadline of the assignment, the only thing you can do is give up like this. Because you can no longer train the model. But today training the model takes at most a few hours. You rush it the night before the assignment deadline. Maybe there is still time. So regarding the weight of this course. Almost every week an assignment will be announced. So just look at it as general education. Soon you treat this course as general education. Because after all, this course has the word introduction in its name. It will not be a very difficult course. But if viewed as general education, it can be a very substantial general education. Of course, if it is seen as an elective course, then it might be a relatively light burden. Electives are not that heavy. Then let me talk about the possible burden of assignments for your reference. As for the planning of class content, we will discuss this in the next session. Okay, a question that everyone often asks here. Is it possible to use artificial intelligence for this course? For example, can we use Generative to do assignments? This is the Introduction to Deep AI course. Of course, Deep AI should be able to write assignments. But at the same time, the teacher also needs to use AI to grade assignments. We will use a large language model for grading. Finally, special thanks to NTKS DaVinci. The DGE team provided us with the platform for war games. provided us with computing power to provide our platform, so we can through the war chess platform to correct homework. There may be more than 1,000 people choosing this. They are also willing to support unconditionally. So here especially thank NTK's brother team. NTK's team will come to share with everyone how they use deep AI, what their views on deep AI in the industry are. On May 24th, NTK has also developed a large language model. So the technical team will come to share their journey of developing a large language model.